I'm trying. I can't get this to lay down. Lay down. Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, it's not an episode of Crue Trime. Spoiler. It's been like over a year since we've just sort of caught up. We're gonna do a good old-fashioned Q&A. You've got Q's, I have A's. I'm gonna A your Q's. So I put out a call on Instagram and here on the community tab, and let's see what your questions are. Before we get started, make sure you please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel and turn on all the notifications, and then that way you'll never miss one of my uploads. Oh my god, my phone's gonna die. Hang on, I'm gonna need to plug this in. Ah! Now you're gonna see the cable. Oh well, behind the scenes. By the way, this mirror, it says Glammy. Anytime you guys can see the mirror, I always get questions. What does it say? It says Glammy. That's the name of the company who produced the mirror, who is unfortunately not in business anymore. Sorry. Also, before we get started, what's my makeup? If you want to know. Gosh, it's been so long since I've talked about makeup. How do I even do this anymore? Oh, it's dirty. I'm sorry. It's got that like velour kind of finish, so the dirt is sticking to it. But this is the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. That's what's on my eyes today. This palette has gotten me so excited about makeup, and I've not been excited about makeup in a long time. I'll link everything in the description box if you care, but that's not what we're here for. There's actually a lot of questions. Let's start on Instagram first. I already know what the main one's gonna be, because I kind of set a trap. Ooh, question number 1 from BRATTERSTEIN. Hi, Brittany. You guys, if you're not following BRATTERSTEIN, but you like Crue Trime content, what are you doing with your life? She's amazing. She's incredible. I will link her down below. BRATTERSTEIN asks, favorite scary movie? That's a really difficult question, actually, to answer, because it sort of depends on my mood. Like, do I want something silly? Do I want something supernatural? Do I want something gory? But the classics are what the classics are, and I love it. Like, part 1 is always the best if it's the original miniseries with Tim Curry. Here I am, Wheezy. Or if it's the remake, the recent remake, the second half. Whack on all accounts, but I can't get enough of Tim Curry as Pennywise. Or Pennywise in general, so it. Oh, this is fun. From Kevin G689, this is my friend Kevin Grasson. He says, are you a pirate? Is it because of this, my little doodle? Kevin, I think we both know that I'm not pirating anything that's deeper than a puddle, if you know what I'm saying.
God, my kayak's sinking. Sarah, I don't know what to do.
There are some themes that are emerging, and I think it's just because it's been a long time since I've been a real person, not just telling stories. So you don't really know what's going on with me. A lot. But this one's deep. Andrea Termel says, one question, are you happy? Andrea, yes, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm just so busy. I'm tired, is what I am. Kate Wainwright 99 asks, what's your all-time favorite Crue Trime case? Easy, hands down. My favorite Crue Trime case is the West Memphis 3. Because it's terrible. It's the worst. It's infuriating. It's such a miscarriage of justice. It's disgusting, and it's still unsolved. So I would very much like to cover that case one day when the time is right. I don't know when that's going to be, because that case is so long. Maybe I should do a series. Meegs1007 asks, well, it's not really an ask, it's an exclamation. Cat update! Cat update. I feel like I post major things both on Instagram. I post a lot on Instagram, especially in my stories, but I feel like I do a lot in the community tab on YouTube. After we moved to Brooklyn, we adopted another cat, a friend for Murray, and his name was Goose. He was born with bad kidneys, and long story short, he died. That was about a year ago. We're coming up on a year that Goose passed away, unfortunately. Around Christmas time, we did adopt a new baby brother for Murray. His name is Pete. He's orange. Insert video or pictures here. He is in full long teen mode. He's no longer a kitten. He is long teen long. He's very long. He's very hungry. He eats all the things. He's very orange. He's a menace. We also have Pete's sister. which was unplanned. So Pete was a litter of feral kittens that Tyler found at work, and he took them to the vet and got them fixed and adopted them all out. We took Pete because we wanted an orange boy, and one of the kittens was returned because the girl's son was head to toe hives, allergic to cats. So we took the sister back. We were advertising for her. We were interviewing people, you know, talking to people, and she just ended up staying. So we now have Pete's sister. Her name is Little Debbie. Why is her name Little Debbie? Because it's funny. Isn't it funny to say this is my cat, Debbie? I'm sorry, that's funny. Also, I love Little Debbie snack cakes. Doesn't everybody? Her markings are actually very pretty, but she's like torty and tabby. She's got lots of tortitude. She's very skinny. Her body is very weird looking. Her tail is extra long. Like, I don't know what's going on with these cats in their gene pool, but they're very sweet together. Murray loves to play with them. Getting kittens was the right move, and everybody's really happy. Murray's getting older. He's starting to indicate some early kidney situations, which I'm not happy about because we've dealt with that before. It's just super common in cats. Cats just have garbage kidneys, apparently. Well, you know, Murray's getting like top tier treatment. We want him around as long as possible. So Murray plus his 2 babies. We call them the kids. Oh, here's a Crue Trime related question. How do you find backstory info for your Crue Trime stories? Google, books, wiki? Yes, all of it. Most of it is open source, you know, things that you can find online, news articles, police reports that are searchable, court records that are searchable. Good old Google is your friend. Anything that you really want to find, you can find if you look hard enough. I'm just not able to invest the time that it really takes to do like deep dive investigatory interviews, visits, travel, all that stuff. I've got a full-time job. That would be super cool to one day go down that road, but for now it's Google. Girl, you left a lot of questions. This is from Compassionate RN. You said you were starting to get gray hair. Will you color it or let it go gray? It's actually not turning gray at all. It's not turning gray, it's turning white. Do you see this? It's like a blonde. It's like a Donald Trump flesh tone. Not looking forward to my whole head looking this color, but you know, I don't color my hair. It just grows out of my head like this. But yeah, around my temples especially are turning white, blonde. So it ain't bad. It's fine. You see this guy? This guy's on his own agenda. Yeah, they are starting to come in the top. You know, some white hairs, some blonde hairs. So I'm going blonde. I'm slowly turning white into a ghost. From Lisa Laura, will you collab? I think this means collab. Will you collab with Michelle Wang again? Loved your chemistry. I love Michelle. She's the best. She's the coolest. So like, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Michelle Wang, she's a luxury beauty influencer on YouTube, Instagram, all the places. She lives in Las Vegas. She has the coolest vibes, the coolest energy. She's just a really cool person. She's super duper busy, and I've been super duper busy too. So we've just kind of not been able to connect as much as we used to, but for no reason, you know, other than just busyness. But yeah, I'd love to work with Michelle again. Love her. Okay, from Kenzie Carter. What is the one unsolved Crue Trime case that keeps you up at night? Fun fact about me, I can sleep at any time. I could drink a pot of coffee and lay down for a nap. Okay, I don't normally have trouble sleeping. Nothing really keeps me up at night. That sounds terrible. From Steelers Girl 8656, she asks, favorite makeup item and favorite brand. Lately, my favorite makeup item is less a makeup item and more a tool. It's these little velour poof things. Mine is very dirty. This is from Singe Beauty. This is another influencer brand from Angelica Nyquist. I love this. It's for pressing powder into the skin, duh. But I like the shape and the size of this because it gets perfectly in my little under eyes. Because anymore, I don't powder my face as hard as I used to because I'm getting old and wrinkly. But I do, especially like these intercorners. And I love this thing. So I will link this down below. I hope it's still available. My favorite makeup brand lately is Makeup Forever. So Makeup Forever makes really great complexion products at like an incredible range of colors. And they also make really good, just good tools, you know what I mean, for all skill levels and for everything that you want to do. The pencils are safe for lips and eyes, which I love. They also have some really incredible cream contour, powder contour. I just love Makeup Forever. From Sleepy Lifts, If you could live in another country for 1 year, where would you go? Ireland, hands down. I loved Ireland so much when we visited. I hate that we didn't get to stay longer, so I would love to go back and see all the things that I missed. And I'd like to take a year to do it. From Barbie and 00, I love Crue Trime. However, can you do a good old makeup video or a costume makeup video? Actually got some other questions that we'll get to later about costume looks, but I love doing costume looks and special effects and all of that, but it just doesn't get the views. You know, and I just try to give the people what they want to see. So every once in a while, I'll go back to it because I like making them. And if you watch it, you watch it. If you don't, oh well. I do miss making that kind of content. So thank you for the reminder. It ain't just about views, right? From GMW Artist, who killed JonBenet Ramsey? I think the mom did. I think that it was an accident. I think that she peed the bed and Patsy was so mad and she was trying to get her in the bathtub and I think that she slipped and fell and hit her head. And then I think Patsy staged a terrible crime scene to make it look more sinister. That's what I think happened. I think it was the mom. From April MM88, what's your favorite food? Also show off the pets, please. I will show off the pets. Here's some more pictures. I'll pay the cat tax. Murray and little Debbie and Pete. Little Pete. My favorite food is probably lasagna. I'm equal opportunity food. I'm a hungry person. You know, there's not a lot of food that I don't love. I will say, I didn't understand the hype about New York pizza until I moved to New York. And now I understand the pizza. I understand the difference. A nice thin slice, folded, plain. If you put stuff on it, it gets greasy and heavy and floppy. You don't want that. Fold, eat pizza. Irish Mish 0683, how are you liking living in NYC? Living in NYC is wild, man. It ain't that crazy. It's not that scary either. Living here has kind of reminded me that there's creature comforts that were more important to me than I realized. Like in New York, central air that's a lie. That does not exist. It's all like window units. And central air, it does all the things. Like it dehumidifies, it purifies air, it heats and cools, it does all the things. But that doesn't exist here. Here I have to run dehumidifiers, air purifiers, air conditioning units, and in the wintertime, heating units, all separately. And that shit ain't free. So my electric bill is infuriating. It's an expensive city, especially if you want to be comfortable. I do love that I can walk out my door and in less than 2 minutes I'm on the subway and riding into the city to go see a show. On the weekends here, especially in the warmer months, they block off the street that we live off of in Brooklyn and it's like a block party and you can walk in the street and there's performances. There's a gay bar down the street called Good Judy's that has drag performances in the street. It's a dream. Yeah, so that part is really fun. I am desperate to know why you're running around at Hamilton. If you saw my community tab and on Instagram, I recently posted this. Yeah, I was at the Richard Rodgers Theater on the stage on the set of Hamilton for a work thing. I don't work in Broadway. I don't work in TV. How can I explain this? I'm producing a major event that is occurring at the theater where they do Hamilton for my job, for work. That has nothing to do with Broadway, has nothing to do with film, has nothing to do with TV. Next question. From M. Nylander, how's the job going at the new location? You guys, my job sucks. My job's really difficult. My job is really a lot. Keeps me very, very, very busy and very, very, very tired. I knew that it was going to be a lot of work going into this role, but sweet summer child. There are parts of my job that I really, really enjoy, such as this project that I'm working on right now. I love that side of it, but the majority of my job is terrible. I mean, there's a lot of red tape, depending on what the situation is. And my job right now is very heavy in those kinds of things, and those things are not fun. Okay, let's go to YouTube. Oh my God, there's 100 questions. Okay, a lot of questions about my employment. I'm not going to save this to the very end. I'm just going to tell you right now. I'm not telling. What do I do? What's my real job? What kind of employment am I in? What's my real job? What's my real job? Don't tease us with what's my real job, haha, unless you're going to actually answer. I have told you guys that I will tell you everything about my job as soon as we reach 100,000 subscribers. And you know, for a little while, I thought we were going to get there. What had happened was I kind of tanked my own channel because I became less reliable with my uploads because things got so crazy busy with work, and I was going to school full time pursuing a degree path, and I finished, but it made it so it was just harder harder to keep up. So I scaled back, I missed uploads, and that, you know, hurt the growth on my channel. So I'm trying to get that back going, get more steady. I will tell you everything in detail. You will be so bored. I'll tell you everything when we get to 100,000. So subscribe. Tell your friends. Okay, from MarleyZA88, I've always admired how you let negative comments / feedback slide right off, as well as how you don't let any of these cases keep you up at night. Is there a trick to switching off that part of your brain, or have you always been indifferent to things like that? I think part of my superpowers of not caring what other people think or say about me comes from being a redheaded kid. When you're a redheaded kid, you don't blend in. And I was a redheaded, freckle-faced, skinny little goblin child, okay? Also, I was very annoying. Nobody wants to be insulted. Like, that's not fun, but also I was used to hearing negative feedback. Is that the nicest way to say it? I was used to hearing it. What people think about me is just sort of none of my business. What's the saying? Those that matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter. It's true. This question, is there a reason you stopped doing special FX makeup, and would you pretty please consider sharing your Halloween costume this year? I love Crue Trime, but you are also so incredibly talented with the FX stuff. That's so kind. Thank you. It doesn't get the views. You know, I'm not plugged in enough in the algorithm for it to get pushed out to get the attention. Probably also not that good. But I would very much love to incorporate more Halloween and costume looks and cosplay things and special effects moving forward. I don't really know how. I've had some recommendations that are like, what if you, while you're telling the story, turn yourself into that person? And I'm like, that might be poor taste. I think sometimes I can be telling a story and it would be appropriate to get a little kooky, and then sometimes maybe not. I do have an idea for another Pennywise costume that I very much would like to do. I just have no idea how I'm going to do it, when I'm going to be able to do it. If I can do it in time for this Halloween, hold on to your butts, because it's a banger. Are there any cases you have heard of that were so brutal or detailed you felt you couldn't cover them on YouTube? I'm not really afraid to cover any kind of cases, like whether it's kids related or certain subject matters. There is definitely subject matter that YouTube doesn't like. They don't feel as advertiser friendly. I covered a case, an old one, Mary Kay Letourneau. No one was murdered in that case. A young boy was groomed into a sexual relationship with his teacher. They ended up getting married and having kids together and that whole thing. Apparently that's worse than murder. It's not that it's all about the ads and the revenue, and if I can't make money on the video, I'm not going to do it, but also... Okay, this one from JessR9448 has 3 questions. 1, are you planning on bringing back the vlogs? Yes, definitely gonna bring back the vlogs. I'll explain more later. 2, how are the kitties getting along? Great. 3, what's your favorite hangout spot around where you live to have a beverage and hang out with hubby and friends? The place that we go to the most is called the Black Horse Pub, and it's right where we live. Great food, good drinks. The waitstaff always takes really good care of us. And it's so close to our apartment that we can actually go home and use the bathroom and come back if it's too busy. Okay, here's a really great one from Melissa Jensen 1537. Hi, Sarah. Hi. Since you've done videos on debunking famed psychics and paranormal investigators, my question is, do you believe in the paranormal? Have you ever had a personal paranormal experience? Love your videos. Thanks for keeping it real. I want to believe in the paranormal. I want to. My Virgo brain is just like...
Yeah, immediately no. Immediately no. Immediately no.
I myself have never had a paranormal experience, like actually seen a ghost or doors opening, poltergeist type stuff. I've definitely gotten like vibes, you know, you can feel somebody staring at you, or you feel a presence, or you think you do. There's also a thing in my family where we find dimes. Have you guys ever heard of this? The dead leave dimes? In our family, that's an indication of someone on the other side communicating, saying hello to you. We find dimes in places that it's sort of hard to explain. Where's the change coming from? I don't keep change around. I could not even tell you the last time I had change, cash, money, change, anywhere, ever. But I would find dimes in pockets. I would find dimes in shoes. My cousin has found dimes in places when she's like going through customs at the airport. How? Where's it coming from? But as far as like an actual encounter, something that I can't really explain, no. What's the best place you've ever traveled to or lived, and why? And how far do you have to travel for work? The best place I've ever traveled to was Japan. If there's ever an opportunity to go to Japan, go. to Japan. Life-changing. And I wasn't somebody who was like super into Japan type things. Like I didn't grow up watching anime or super interested in that stuff. I know that's not all that Japan has to offer, but I didn't know that I was gonna love it so much. The food was incredible. The scenery was incredible. The people are so friendly. It's Japan. Go to Japan. Oh, and how far do I have to travel for work? So my job right now is not a traveling job, if that's what you mean. Like I don't have to go on business trips, but my commute to work is actually the best commute I've ever had because I live in Brooklyn, but I work actually on Staten Island, and it's a reverse commute because nobody's driving to Staten Island in the morning, not from Brooklyn. So all the traffic's going the other way. So it takes me like maybe 10, 12 minutes to get to work because I drive. Okay, here's a really good one. Which of the Crue Trime stories have hit the closest to home? I watched one and it absolutely scared the cack out of me because it could have been me. The very first Crue Trime story that I ever covered happened in my hometown, maybe a few miles from where I grew up. That's the one that has hit the closest to home because it just, you know, makes it real, right? Not that none of the other stories are real, but you know what I'm saying. Here's a good one. I recently started watching you and I am addicted. My husband is now addicted also and is a ginger and loves when he hears you comment about gingers. Who/what inspired the name Murray for your cat? Love it when he appears. So I love people names for cats. Obviously. Pete, Debbie, and Murray. Murray we love because it's just like an old man name. We just like it. And then also Tyler actually found Murray as a kitten running down the side of a busy road in Maryland. And in Maryland, a lot of the natives pronounce Maryland Maryland. It just worked. These speculations about my job. I bet it's something dealing with women's advocacy or something like that. Definitely for sure public sector. Maybe a nonprofit? Nope. None of those things. You guys are gonna be so disappointed. Here's a good one. Would you ever consider doing more of a deep dive into some cases? Yes, of course I would. The hard part is the research that it takes to put these stories together is so substantial, and I do have some help. I've got a team that I work with. You know, they help with the research. They put together a draft script and give me some source materials and stuff, and then I take that and because I am a control freak Virgo, rework it into my own language, and then it also takes time to like find the clips that I work in to make a joke or underline the point or something. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. That's why the videos kind of top out around 30 minutes because that's sort of what I can handle with the time that I have. I would like to do longer videos. I need more time. Okay, here's a good one from Joey7829. Hello. Well, I was wondering if you guys were planning on staying in New York. And if so, will you stay in your current place or set up camp somewhere new? Announcement! Announcement! We're moving. We're moving again. We're moving. I think there's more questions that will expand on that. Two related questions. Is New York your last move or will you be relocating in the future? No and yes. Did you like living in DC more? Where have you enjoyed living the most? Cat's out of the bag. We're moving back to DC. So we're moving back to DC this summer. I explained this before, but it was a long time ago. So the reason that we came to New York was for job opportunity. Both Tyler and I had the opportunity to get into some things that would give us the opportunity for some upward mobility. And it worked. It worked. Tyler got promoted in his role last September, and I've been approved to be promoted in my role, and that will happen in June, which is again why we are moving again. Moving back to DC. And I can't wait. We lived in DC the longest of anywhere that we've lived as adults. Our friends are there. Our network is there. It feels like home. There's lots of dysfunctional things about DC. There's lots of dysfunctional things about anywhere that you're going to live. But I'm really excited to move back home with my friends. Oh, here we go from 80s Babs. Where are you from? I've noticed a slight southern accent. I'm from North Carolina. Sounds kind of like my accent. That's an eagle ear or whatever. Phrase. I grew up in Southeast North Carolina. I don't feel like I have an accent, but I can understand sometimes it might come out if I'm like a little bit more relaxed or being silly or whatever. But my parents are from South Detroit, so their accent is very Midwestern Ohio. I have like a very strange combo of pronunciations of words, which is super fun. From Nomadic Cat 1781, why are you not on Patreon? If I had more time, I might. Not now. I'm actually looking forward to when we move back to DC. I'm going to be getting back into a role that's a little bit more single scope. I am speaking in code and I'm sorry. I'll tell you everything eventually, but so I'm very much looking forward to that. So maybe Patreon, maybe podcast stuff. I don't know if you guys follow me on Facebook. My Facebook content is actually managed by another company. They take my videos and recut them in a shortened way and they put them on Facebook and they do all that thing. And actually we're about to start another project where it's more of like a voiceover style video. So I'm looking forward to how I like that, and maybe I could parlay that into podcast stuff. What do you guys think? Hi, love what you do. Have you ever acted or considered it? Judging by the green screen skits you did with JAIME French on the burlesque video, you are natural. Oh, that's so sweet. First of all, JAIME French.
Hey kids.
JAIME French is an incredibly talented content creator here on YouTube and also on Facebook and on TikTok. She's also a super duper nice person. I actually saw her last summer in LA. We were at the Streamy Awards together. So fancy. To answer the question, acting, no. That's not for me. I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of gal, which is funny because here I am in the scene. I am very much in front of the scene. The thing that I enjoy the most about YouTube is like the production of it. The writing, the prepping, the editing. But, you know, I'm up for any kind of fun project. So I wouldn't turn it down, I guess, if somebody wanted to hire me for something. Oh, here we go from Morgan Colley. I've been following you for a couple years now, and you've said before you'd tell us your real job once you got to 40K subscribers, then 60K, then you keep avoiding it. I understand wanting to keep that personal. Do you feel like real New Yorkers? I don't recall ever saying 40,000. I definitely recall saying 100,000 because I want to hold up the 100,000 plaque and thank you by telling you my job. Definitely feel like a tourist. I feel like I've just sort of been visiting for 2 years. Tyler loves New York. He would live here forever because he skateboards, so he's always out and about in the city, and like he's made a lot of friends, and he's just embracing New York life. So speaking of New York, this is the special Subway edition merch. You guys have been asking me for Hold On To Your Butts merch for a long, long time, and I finally figured out how I'd like to put it together. It looks like the Subway sign, if you're not familiar. This is linked down in the description box, by the way. This is a great question. Is there anyone here on YouTube that you love to follow? If you look down in my description box, I link a lot of the Crue Trimers that I really, really love and enjoy, and I think that you would love and enjoy. I also love Rachel MAKSY because I think she's like the most adorable thing ever. I love JAIME French. I love Glitter Fallout. There's a lot of like classic OG YouTubers that I just love. Okay, this is actually an excellent question. Do we only need to submit a Crue Trime suggestion to the Google Docs once? I'd imagine it doesn't get lost or deleted after a while, right? That's correct. I don't delete anything. Just wondering because I don't want to bombard you, and I'm sure no one else wants to either. Don't worry about that. Also, I love your terrible stories and makeup skills. I wish we were friends in real life because I'm also a Virgo and I think we get along swell. So when you submit a recommendation for a Crue Trime story via the Google Doc, it just lives in there forever. So you don't need to submit it multiple times. You can if you want to, especially if you think of something new or whatever, some details that you might not have included before, because I'll get all of that. Let's say somebody's recommending JonBenet Ramsey, right? I will find all of the times that that's been recommended and see if there's any different nuggets, and then I'll try to also acknowledge all of the people who have recommended that story. So if they want to be, you know, some people don't want to be mentioned, and that's cool too. If I had to ask one question, it would be, how do I spell my name? Sarah, no H, or Sarah H? Other than that, hope you're well, and these people that say you're trying to be Bailey have given you a break. Good grief. It's Sarah with no H. Thank you for asking. Being compared to Bailey comments have really sort of died down, maybe because there's a lot of people trying to be Bailey these days. It's a little bit more commonplace. There's room for everybody in every space on YouTube, so I don't know why people get so butthurt about that. Like only one person is allowed to do anything on YouTube. There can only ever be one. That's lame. Let the people live. I had mentioned earlier getting back to vlogs. So yes, I definitely want to do more vlogs. They're actually easier to produce because they don't require research. All I have to do is just sort of film life and then edit it. So I intend to, especially as we're moving, probably do more vlogs. It means that viewership's going to go down, traffic here at the channel is going to go down, growth is going to go down, and I'm going to probably dip back down again, but that's okay. I love doing vlogs. I love recording and kind of time capsuling that moment in time and sharing it with you guys. So more vlogs are coming, especially in the early summer. That's when we're trying to execute this move. We'll see when that happens. All of that is still in the planning stages. We're trying to find a place to move to back in DC. So if you know a realtor or you are one, holla. So there's a lot of repeat questions, but I feel like there's probably some new people who maybe didn't know or hadn't heard the previous answer before that it's the same answer. I love doing Crue Trime content. I love doing YouTube content. So I hope that was a fun catch up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thank you guys so much for submitting questions and for watching and for sticking around. You know, I'm going to link the things that I talked about makeup wise and merch wise and channel wise, anything that I talked about. I'll try to give you the information so that you guys can check it out yourselves. So there's lots of changes coming in the next weeks and months, and I will vlog it and take you guys all along for the ride. So I hope you guys hang out, stay strong. We're going to get through the summer and then we'll be back to, you know, full-time Crue Trime, and then hopefully maybe some Halloween special effects and costume stuff in the fall. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I upload new videos here on YouTube every week, and you can follow me on all of the other socials. Make sure that you check out Facebook too, especially if you like more of like a voiceover vibe. Coming soon, coming soon. That's it for now. I'll catch you next time in the next video. Bye! Oh my god, just grab my bra straps. Hold please, hold please. So stupid. God, my hair looks so bad. Binging. Why is this so hard for me? I have to burp. Somebody's vacuuming out there. God, my hair looks terrible. Nyquist? I hope I'm saying that right. I never do. Girl ate thick. Questions. Questions. Okay, so what are we doing today? Where's the remote?